Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we have day 3 of the Scourge of Ghyran, and this time it is the Flesh Eater Courts. I said Soulblight, didn't I? God damn it, I thought I had that one. There's probably another tease for tomorrow. Maybe I'll get that faction right. But how about we get into this one? So today we're dining out with the Flesh Eaters. We have our little narrative beat from Alex, apparently Sir Alexander of Maronor. But we're going to focus on the rules as we normally do. To begin, we're serving up a medley of battle formations to delight your tactical taste buds. The Questing Courtiers formation will suit those who prefer to bring many Orst heroes to their noble household. As soon as your champions kill something, and possibly eat it, they'll become harder to kill, which is definitely a fair trade-off. That sounds fun. On the other hand, if you prefer a horde of sycophantic minions, perhaps impassioned serfs would be a better option. Your vassals believe themselves to be singing the foe into a blissful stupor. But in reality, their enemies are so traumatized by this cannibalistic nightmare that they just stand there to be eaten. Different viewpoint, same gory result. That's actually a really cool shot. I don't know if that's a new picture either, but that's cool. Stormcast in black and red is quite nice too, isn't it? I don't know if I've seen them in black and red. But no, the Flesh Eaters are looking fantastic in that picture. So the main course consists of 3 new monstrous traits. Savage Abomination comes with Serious Bite, making a companion more deadly in combat. Okay, interesting. Meanwhile, Revered Monstrosity makes nearby companions more aggressive. But our favourite is Horribly Resilient, which enables you to heal your monster or stop it noticing its bits falling off. Continuously regenerating Terrorgeist? Yes please. For dessert, there are 2 delicious war scrolls. The Abhorrant Ghoul King has always been a character assassin, but his murderous tenacities have become infectious, spreading to nearby heroes. In turn, they spur him on to even greater heights of Frosty. And the other war scroll is the Abhorrant Gorewarden, which is now more dangerous on the charge when surrounded by his loyal knights. Mega Bat riding lunatic. He's now extremely handy when it comes to grabbing objectives. So we'll run over this stuff as we get into the rules proper. Tomorrow's Gyranic gift has a distinctly fungal flavour to it. It's also a bit moony. What could it possibly be? Iron Jaws? No, it's going to be the Gloom Spike Gits, isn't it? I'm pretty sure on that one, but then I was sure on the one before. But let's get into the rules. So here we have our faction rules for the Flesh Eater Courts, our battle formations, Impassioned Serfs, any combat phase, Overwhelming Hordes. Declare pick a friendly Serfs unit that did not charge this turn and is in combat to use this ability. Then pick an enemy unit in combat with that Serfs unit to be the target. Effect: the target cannot make pile-in moves for the rest of the turn. Okay, that's quite nice. Or Questing Courtiers, passive, the Blessing of the Chalice. Effect: friendly Flesh Eater Courts heroes have a ward of 5 up if they have destroyed a unit this battle. Destroyed a unit? Okay, so you kill a unit, you get a 5 up ward on your heroes. That's just really nice, isn't it? Our Monstrous Traits, we have a passive Revered Monstrosity. Effect: add 1 to the hit rolls for combat attacks made with companion weapons by other friendly, non-unique Flesh Eater Courts monsters while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit, so a little bit of a buff there. Our second passive to choose from, Savage Abomination. Effect: add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this unit's companion melee weapons. I think I prefer the other one, honestly. Not bad, but I think I prefer the other one. Or our end of turn, any turn, Horribly Resilient. Heal D3 this unit. If this unit is not a hero, heal 2d3 this unit instead. I know that 2d3 has the potential to be better than d3, but why could you not just say heal d6? That would make life so much easier. If it's not a hero, heal d6. But no, that's I like a healing ability. I like this stuff. I love a ward save. I like a healing ability. You kind of get an idea of what I like for this game, aren't you? I also like my buffing characters. So yeah, this sounds pretty nice. I do like Revered Monstrosity. I quite like Horribly Resilient. And it does exactly what it says on the trait, doesn't it? Let's jump over to our 2 war scrolls now. So the Abhorrant Ghoul King, move of 6 inches, 5 up save with a 6 up ward. 5 health, 2 control. Melee weapons, we have the Blood-Stained Talons and Fangs, which is anti-hero, plus 1 rend. 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage. It's not bad. Passive, the King's Court. Effect, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of melee weapons used by other friendly non-monster Flesh Eater Courts heroes while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. In addition, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of this unit's melee weapons for each other friendly non-monster Flesh Eater Courts hero wholly within 12 inches of this unit to a maximum of 3. So non-monster hero units gain +1 to the attack characteristics, and he himself gains +1 up to a maximum of +3 for the same units around him, which would put him up to 8 attacks. That's nice. Our other passive, Long Live the King. Effective, this unit would be destroyed before removing it from play. Friendly, non-unique Flesh Eater Courts units wholly within 12 inches of this unit become enraged until the start of your next turn. Melee weapons used by friendly enraged units have crit auto wound and score critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of 5 up. It's only for 1 turn, or the rest of the turn, but that's really nice. That's really nice. Keywords: Hero Wizard 1, Infantry, Ward 6 up, and then we've got Death, Flesh Eater Courts, and Abhorrant. And this version of the Abhorrant Ghoul King is 120 points. Regiment requirements: any Flesh Eater Noble, any Flesh Eater Courts. 120 points for that sounds really nice. That's super strong. Let's take a look at the other battle scroll for the model and see what's going on. So from the Flesh Eater Courts faction pack, the Abhorrant Ghoul King, 6-inch move, 5 up save, 6 health, 2 control. Gory Talons and Fangs, 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage. We have a combat phase Code of Honor ability. Declare pick an enemy hero in combat with this unit to be the target. Effect, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the damage characteristic of this unit's melee weapons. But all of this unit's attacks must go into that hero. And a charge phase ability. For your charge phase, Unnatural Speed. Effect, if this unit charges this phase, it has Strike First for the rest of the turn. Very nice. And it's Hero Wizard 1, Infantry, 6 up Ward, Death, Flesh Eater Courts, and an Abhorrant. So both models have the 6 up Ward. They have, the Ghyran one has less health, but he does gain +1 rend anti-hero. But he loses his Code of Honor ability, but I think he gains better abilities. So they're the same points cost. I think you maybe go with the Scourge of Ghyran one on this. It was very tough to choose for Iridan the Witness yesterday. But of this first new War Scroll, I love Strike First as well. You lose Strike First. You've got a charge to trigger it, but you lose Strike First. But you gain more attacks. You gain +1 rend against heroes, and you gain the ability to buff allies around you when you die, and you lose health, so you're probably going to die a little bit easier. Ooh, that's tough. For the same points, Strike First is very good though. I think I like the Scourge of Ghyran one, but again, it's not as clean cut as you initially think. This is a nice War Scroll. Very, very nice. Now let's take a look at the second one, the Abhorrant Gorewarden. So we have a 12-inch move, 5 up save with a 6 up ward, 7 health, 2 control, Gory Talons and Fangs for melee weapons, 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage, so very similar here. Passive Glorious Charge. Effect, when this unit is within the combat range of a friendly knight's unit that has charged this turn, this unit has a 5 up ward, and its Gory Talons and Fangs have charge +1 damage, so that makes it much deadlier, a little bit more durable, much deadlier. And we have a once per turn army, end of enemy turn ability, Swooping Descent. Effect, remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again more than 9 inches away from all enemy units and either wholly within 6 inches of the edge of the battlefield or within 3 inches of an objective you do not control. Ooh, nice. A little bit of uppy downy there. And keywords: Hero Wizard 1, Infantry Fly, Ward 6 up, Death, Flesh Eater Courts, and an Abhorrant. So if you are within the combat range of friendly knights who have charged, your ward save is increased a good bit. You will do extra damage as long as you've charged. Swooping Descent is just really nice as well. And the Ghyran Gorewarden is 140 points, regiment options, not to 1 flesh eater nobles, not to 1 serfs, any knights. Let's take a look at what the standard is and do a little bit of a comparison. So the faction rules for the Abhorrant Gorewarden is 12-inch move, 5-up save, 7 health to control. Melee weapons are the same. You've got a movement ability, so your movement phase, Royal Hunting Party. Declare, if this unit is not in combat, you can pick up to 2 friendly Crypt Flayers or Morberg Knights units that are not in combat and are wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be the targets. Effect: remove this unit and the targets, if any, from the battlefield. Set this unit up again on the battlefield, more than 9 inches from all enemy units. Then set up each target wholly within 12 inches of this unit and more than 9 inches from all enemy units. And it's Hero, Wizard 1, Infantry, Fly, Ward 6 up, Death, Flesh Eater Courts, and Abhorrant. And the Abhorrant Gorewarden is 130 points in the faction pack. So for 10 points more, you are getting a charge ability that boosts your survivability and damage. You still have your uppy downy, but only for that 1 unit. But you can drop in on an objective that you don't control, which is really nice. Other than that, there's not... I suppose it depends how you're running. I don't know. Again, I mean, the Scourge of Ghyran variant is 10 extra points. But for those 10 extra points, you are gaining potentially extra damage and a better ward save and the ability to just drop in an objective that you don't control. Yes, the Gorewarden will be on its own, whereas the standard War Scroll gives you a couple of units that you can move with him, but you're quite restricted. That is a much closer drop. I can only talk about how I play. People who play Flesh Eater Courts, you're going to have to tell me what you think of this. But I actually quite like the shenanigans that the new variant brings. I think the Scourge of Ghyran War Scroll, for the extra 10 points, gives you quite a lot more fun things to do and I would say quite a bit more offensive threat. Certainly with that, dropping on an objective within 9 inches from enemy units, but 3 inches of an objective you don't control. And if there's no enemy units around that objective, it's yours. All for an extra 10 points. Yeah, I like this one. I like this quite a lot. I think both of these War Scrolls have got a nice glow up. I think the Abhorrant Ghoul King, you've got a choice to make there, but I like these. On the whole, generally, I like what they're doing with this. And this is what you find with Age of Sigmar as opposed to 40k. They're willing to play with the rules and models and just do more fun things with it, I think. And I think the player base is much more open to that. I'm not saying that the 40k fan base isn't open to that. I think that they very much are. But 40k seems to have this much more match play, match focused tournament, super sweaty idea about it, which isn't actually true. But Games Workshop thinks of it as almost like an esport, a super competitive game. AOS isn't that. AOS is much more fun, friendly narrative, very much like the fantasy vibe was. Maybe not to the same degree, because from what I know, the very little I know about fantasy, but what I know about fantasy, the rules are just crazy fun. Like, you can have so much fun doing them. But I think AOS at its core has a little bit of that still. And that's why I prefer, as a game system, I prefer AOS to 40k to play. This is nice. I really like what they're doing. And the more that we see, the more I'm excited to see which way they go with the Slaves to Darkness, which is my faction. This is all fun. I'm looking forward to this, and I actually enjoy covering these. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow with Bloomspike Git, and we will be following these along as they are released. Do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe if you've enjoyed it, comment, let me know what you think. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.